Long Island's largest radio news team brings you the Associated Press award-winning program, Newsline.
Coming up on Newsline, Wednesday, October 16th, 2024.
A Georgia judge has blocked a ballot hand count rule.
Nebraska restores voting rights for felons.
Jill Biden returns to the campaign trail.
And a campaign to restore abortion rights in Missouri raises nearly $22 million.
In business news, Amazon invests in small modular nuclear reactors. Trump puts emphasis on the importance of tariffs. And both presidential candidates rally for Michigan union voters. I'm Jack Ferretti, and I'll have all that and more later in the broadcast.
In entertainment, a new Fast Pass at Disney Parks, a mobster for hire by an ex-reality star, and Taylor Swift's big donation. I'm Kira Osborne. Stay tuned for your entertainment report.
In sports, men's soccer with a draw against NC State, and the Mets host Game 3 of the NLCS. I'm Arcangelo Urato, and I will have all that and more in sports later in the broadcast.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Cameron Bowden.
And I am Brooklyn Dotton. We begin tonight's broadcast in Georgia. A Georgia judge has blocked a new rule requiring Election Day ballots to be hand-counted after voting ends. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Robert McBurney ruled that the rule was introduced too late and would cause logistical challenges. This decision follows another recent ruling from McBurney mandating county election officials to certify results by the legal deadline. The ruling is seen as a victory for Democrats and legal experts concerned about potential election result certification refusals from Trump allies if Kamala Harris wins the presidential race.
Nebraska's Supreme Court ruled Wednesday that the Secretary of State lacked authority to block voting rights for people with felony convictions, a decision that could restore voting rights to over 7,000 residents. Many are in the Omaha-centered 2nd Congressional District, where races for president and Congress could be closely contested. Nebraska's unique system of allocating electoral college votes by district makes this area particularly significant. The court's decision challenges an earlier directive that could have impacted the upcoming 2024 election.
Jill Biden returned to the campaign trail, focusing on boosting Vice President Kamala Harris, the Democratic presidential nominee, during a 5-day tour of battleground states. Speaking in suburban Detroit, she highlighted Harris's leadership qualities, including her fight for women's rights and affordable living, contrasting her with Donald Trump. Jill Biden emphasized the importance of voting, reminding supporters that every vote counts, especially in a closely contested race. The First Lady will continue supporting Harris in the coming weeks, targeting key states to secure Democratic wins in 2024.
According to finance reports, the campaign to restore abortion access in Missouri has raised nearly $22 million. Missourians for Constitutional Freedom aims to overturn the state's near-total abortion ban and is one of 9 efforts nationwide seeking to codify abortion rights into state constitutions. By contrast, Missouri Right to Life, which opposes the amendment, has raised $222,000, with just under $5,000 at the start of the month. Planned Parenthood and the American Civil Liberties Union are among the major donors to the pro-abortion rights campaign.
Police body camera footage from the August 19th arrest of Tyrone McAlpin in Phoenix has sparked outrage from disability and civil rights groups. The footage shows Officer Benjamin Harris punching McAlpin, who is deaf and has cerebral palsy, and using a taser multiple times. Another officer, Kyle Sue, claimed McAlpin bit him and swung at him, though the video shows little communication before the arrest. The Arizona NAACP called out the lack of proper communication. McAlpin spent 24 days in jail before being released on bond, pleading not guilty. Both officers remain on duty.
Coming up after your Newsline specialty report with Jack Ferretti, the new NYC City Schools Chancellor begins her position, the Gilgo Beach suspect appeared in court today, and an East New York student alleges that an FDNY instructor assaulted him. But first, your Newsline traffic and weather update with Matt Fisher. WRHU News Time is 5:34 p.m.
Newsline. Up to the minute local traffic.
Starting with weather, outside it's 58 degrees and sunny. Tonight we're looking at a low of 43 degrees, and tomorrow we're looking at a high of 58. Now let's take it to the ground with some traffic updates. Right now, on Saginaw State Parkway, northbound at exit S3, there's a misplaced commercial vehicle resulting in a right shoulder blockage. On Wantagh State Parkway southbound at exit W2E, there's another misplaced vehicle resulting in a right shoulder closure. As per usual this time of day, we're seeing some heavy traffic around the island. Coming out of the city, we have traffic on both the Belt Parkway and the Long Island Expressway. By North Valley Stream, we're also seeing a patch of heavy traffic eastbound on the Southern State Parkway. Finally, looking towards the sky, at both JFK International Airport and LaGuardia Airport, there are no destination-specific delays. At both airports, general departure delays and arrival delays are as usual, with wait times being 15 minutes or less. I'm Matt Fisher, and don't go anywhere because I'll have another update later in the broadcast.
Newsline Business News.
This morning, Amazon announced that it is investing in small modular nuclear reactors, joining Google in seeking carbon-free energy sources for data centers and AI needs. This comes as energy demand surges, particularly for electricity from data centers, which could double by 2026. Both companies aim for net zero emissions and are exploring new nuclear technologies as part of their commitments. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm emphasized the importance of these reactors for achieving clean electricity goals. The move has drawn mixed reactions, with supporters citing reliability and critics raising human rights concerns. During a recent speech in Chicago, Donald Trump also emphasized the benefits of tariffs, calling them a misunderstood economic tool that could protect U.S. firms and encourage foreign companies to build factories in the U.S. Despite this, mainstream economists argue that tariffs act as a tax on American consumers and could lead to higher inflation. Trump proposed significant tariffs on imports, particularly from China, which engage in sometimes contentious dialogue with moderator John Micklethwait. The interview, however, resonated well with Trump supporters. And to cap things off, in Michigan, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are vying for the support of union workers, showcasing their contrasting visions of labor. Harris aligns with labor leaders like UAW President Shawn Fain, focusing on the collective benefits of unions, while Trump, attacking her policies, claims they don't represent rank-and-file interests. As both candidates navigate shifting political dynamics in a state with rich union history, they seek to rally blue-collar voters, especially amid concerns over changing demographics and economic conditions that impact their support. For WRHU, I'm Jack Ferretti.
WRHU News Time is 5:37 p.m. Thank you, Matt Fisher and Jack Ferretti, for those reports. After the resignation of David Banks, Melissa Aviles Ramos started her position as the New York City Schools Chancellor. Aviles Ramos was previously the Deputy Chancellor for Family and Community Engagement and External Affairs, after serving as an educator and educational administrator. In an ex-post she made with a video introduction, Aviles Ramos commented that, quote, "My name is Melissa Aviles Ramos. I am a Barranquilla, Bronx native. I am a mom, I am a lifelong educator, and I'm ready to be your chancellor." Now that she has started her position, Aviles Ramos is the highest-ranking leader that is Latina and Spanish-speaking throughout the New York City school public system.
60-year-old Rex Heuermann, the suspect in the Gilgo Beach serial killings, appeared in court today. Arrested last summer, Heuermann is charged with the murders of 6 women and has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Last month, investigators released a sketch of an unidentified Asian victim found near the remains of another victim, though authorities have not confirmed whether Heuermann is linked to that case. Suffolk District Attorney Ray Tierney noted that Heuermann had searched for Asian individuals online, but a trial date has yet to be set.
A 16-year-old student from Thomas Jefferson High School in East New York alleges that his FDNY instructor assaulted him. On Tuesday, he was supported by classmates and parents at a nearby police station. The police report is classified as an assault, and the family has been informed that arrests will be made soon. Further details can be found in the full report.
According to 12 News, a 25-year-old woman was assaulted near East Marshallview Parkway and Webster Avenue, according to police. The suspect was unidentifiable. The suspect remains at large, and authorities encourage anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers.
A Suffolk County police officer, George F. Trimaglosi, and Islip school teacher Stephen Array were indicted for their alleged roles in a long-running prostitution ring operating brothels in Holbrook and West Babylon. Trimaglosi faces 17 counts, including enterprise corruption, while Array has 28 felony counts against him. Authorities claim they managed the brothels on behalf of alleged ringleader Frank Saggio, who also faces charges. Trimaglosi is suspended without pay, is accused of abandoning his post to assist at the brothel during a robbery.
Trimaglosi left his area of responsibility and without notifying anyone else in the police department, certainly without consent, He drove his marked police car at high rates of speed into an entirely different precinct because there had been a robbery at the prostitution business which he managed.
Both defendants have pleaded not guilty.
29-year-old Lindenhurst resident Samantha Robson pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder and robbery charges in the stabbing death of 34-year-old Edwin Valentine. Prosecutors say Robson confessed on body camera footage to stabbing Valentine after a money dispute. Valentine was found with fatal neck wounds in Robson's home, and witnesses described hearing a struggle. Robson also admitted confronting Valentine with a rifle, later found in her home. She remains in custody, and her next court date is November 13th. If convicted, Robson faces up to 25 years to life in prison.
In the 2nd Congressional District of Long Island, two-term Republican Representative Andrew Garbarino faces off against entrepreneur Rob Lubin. Both candidates prioritize repealing the $10,000 cap on state and local tax deductions. Lubin emphasizes protecting abortion rights, while Garbarino has a pro-life record. On immigration, Garbarino supports finishing the southern border wall, blaming the Biden administration, while Lubin criticizes Republicans for blocking bipartisan border security measures. Campaign contributions show Garbarino leading with nearly $3 million compared to Lubin's $862,000.
A fire in a Brooklyn apartment early Tuesday morning claimed one life and injured 3 others. The blaze broke out around 4 a.m. on Brighton 2nd Street. While the cause is still under investigation, the FDNY recovered an electric bike battery from the scene, and Deputy Chief Greg Hansen believes that the fire likely started in the rear bedroom. Hansen also urged caution when charging electric bikes indoors due to fire risks. The injured victims are expected to recover.
In Westchester today, residents celebrated National White Cane Awareness Day in Sleepy Hollow, highlighting the importance of white canes for individuals who are blind or visually impaired. As part of the observance, a new pedestrian signal was unveiled at the intersection of Beekman Avenue and Washington Street, aimed at enhancing safety for those navigating the area. Local advocates emphasized the need for more crosswalks in the county to improve accessibility for all, as many in the community benefit from such developments.
Amityville School District has dropped its lawsuit against New York State over the right to keep its Warriors mascot. The district, facing budgetary strain after laying off 47 staff members and nearly closing a school last year, decided to halt the costly legal battle as financial concerns mounted. The state had implemented a ban on using Native American names or imagery for mascots, leading to the forced rebranding.
Coming up, your Newsline Entertainment Report with Kira Osborne, but first, your Newsline Traffic Update with Matt Fisher. WRHU News Time is 5:42.
Newsline. Up to the minute local traffic.
All right, y'all, we're back for our second update of the broadcast. Outside, it's 56 degrees and sunny, and we're expecting sundown around 6:11 p.m. Looking towards the weekend, expect nothing but sun, and don't put those shorts away just yet, because the temperatures are returning to the 60s and 70s. Looking back to the road, we have an accident on Jericho Turnpike, New York 25 East, resulting in a right lane blockage. We're still seeing some heavy traffic in patches around the island, specifically on the Southern State Parkway near Hempstead, and the Long Island Expressway near Little Neck. Looking again towards the sky, there are still no destination-specific delays at both JFK International Airport and LaGuardia Airport. At both airports, general departure delays and arrival delays are as usual, with wait times being 15 minutes or less. That's all from me. With your Newsline traffic and weather update, this has been Matt Fisher.
Newsline. Entertainment.
The new Lightning Lane Premier Pass will debut at American Disney theme parks at the end of the month. For both the existing and new Lightning Passes, a guest still requires an admission ticket for entry into the park. At Disneyland California, the pass will cost $400, whereas at Disney World in Florida, the price will depend on the specific day and park that the guest requests a pass. They only work at one park per day. The pass allows for the same perks as existing Lightning Lane single and multi-passes, but allows for guests at the park to bypass scheduling their cut-the-line rides. The ex-husband of a reality star has been charged with conspiracy, falsifying documents, and committing a violent crime in the aid of racketeering activity. 59-year-old Thomas Manzo, the ex-husband of Real Housewives of New Jersey star Dina Manzo, was charged to 7 years in prison for hiring a mobster to attack his ex-wife's new boyfriend. The attacker, John Perna, pled guilty to committing a violent crime in 2020 and was freed in August 2023. In return for the hit, Thomas Manzo hosted Perna's wedding reception at Manzo's restaurant. Lastly, on a hopeful note, pop star Taylor Swift donated $5 million to Feeding America, an organization helping feed those affected by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. The CEO of the organization, Claire Babineau-Fontenot, took to Instagram today to thank the singer for her sizable donation. I'm Kira Osborne with your entertainment report. Have a good night.
WRHU News Time is 5:45. Thank you, Matt Fisher and Kira Osborne, for those reports. In Seattle, the strike by Boeing workers enters its second month, having begun on September 13th after the company announced cuts affecting 17,000 jobs. Workers are demanding a 40% pay raise over 4 years and a halt to production of the 737, 767, and 777 aircraft. Washington state congressional leaders are pressuring Boeing to reach an agreement. Amid ongoing protests, Boeing plans to issue a 60-day layoff notice to workers in mid-November, followed by another notice in December.
Michigan agreed to pay $13 million in a settlement after an unannounced active shooter drill at a children's psychiatric hospital traumatized staff and patients. Actors posing as intruders entered the Detroit area hospital, leading to panic. Children will receive $60,000 each, while faculty could get up to $50,000. Police were not notified in advance of the drill.
A deadly standoff unfolded in El Segundo near LAX following a shooting incident at Santa Monica College. On Monday night, a college employee shot another employee and fled the scene. Police pursued the shooter, identified as 39-year-old Devon Durrell Dean, and executed a pit maneuver around 3 p.m. on Tuesday, leading to a standoff. Tragically, Dean shot himself during the confrontation and was found dead at the scene.
Maryland police are investigating an attack on a rabbi who was assaulted with a wooden stake as a potential hate crime. The rabbi suffered minor injuries and was treated at a local hospital. The assailant was arrested and faces felony assault charges.
A conference in Los Angeles will decide if the Menendez brothers will be resentenced following family appeals for their release. The family argues that new evidence about the brothers' history of abuse should change their charges from murder to manslaughter. Comedian Rosie O'Donnell is supporting the appeal.
Alexei Moskalovyev was released from a Russian penal colony today after serving 18 months for his daughter's anti-war drawing. Then 12 Masha depicted a woman with a Ukrainian flag protecting her child from Russian missiles, prompting police intervention and her father's arrest. The case highlights the severe consequences faced by those opposing the Kremlin's military actions.
Israeli airstrikes across southern Lebanon have resulted in over 25 deaths, predominantly in the town of Kana. The attacks targeted Jalal Mustafa Hariri, a Hezbollah commander, during a strategy meeting aimed at aiding the Nabatea area. Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati condemned these actions as intentional assaults. In retaliation, Hezbollah launched 90 missiles towards Israel, injuring 4 civilians. The strikes continue, focusing on command centers and weapons facilities located in civilian areas.
President Volodymyr Zelensky addressed Ukraine's parliament today, outlining a victory plan to end the war with Russia, including a call for NATO membership and requests for longer-range missiles. While he emphasized the need to strengthen Ukraine's position amid Western pressure to negotiate, reactions among lawmakers were mixed, and support from Western allies remains uncertain. He is set to present the plan to the European Council tomorrow.
A fuel tanker explosion in Magia, Jigawa State, Nigeria, has claimed at least 147 lives. The incident occurred when a tanker overturned while avoiding another vehicle, prompting crowds to rush in to collect the leaking fuel. Local officials cautioned that the death toll may rise, with around 140 others injured and currently receiving medical treatment.
The Kenyan parliament has started the process to remove Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua from his position after he was elected 2 years ago. A majority in the country's National Assembly voted to approve his impeachment last week on charges of corruption and undermining government, as well as inciting ethnic divisions. He vehemently denies these claims. Gashagua's trial will occur in front of the entire Senate after the Senate stopped plans for a committee designated to investigate the charges.
An Italian Navy ship brought 16 migrants from Libya to Albania as part of a new agreement allowing Italy to process migrants outside its borders. The centers in Albania, intended for adult men, will handle asylum requests while vulnerable groups will be accommodated in Italy. Despite a significant drop in arrivals, this controversial plan has sparked protests over human rights concerns. The initiative, supported by the EU, aimed to alleviate migration pressure on Italy, but faces criticism for potentially undermining migrant rights.
A new United Kingdom bill to legalize assisted dying for terminally ill patients was introduced in Parliament. If passed, adults with 6 months or less to live could seek High Court approval for assisted dying. Protests erupted on both sides of the issue as the bill headed for debate.
Coming up, your Newsline Sports Break with Arcangelo Jurado. WRHU News Time is 5:50.
From the Philip Cavallero Sports Desk, this is your Newsline Sports Update.
Hofstra Sports men's soccer drew 1-1 with NC State last night. Graduate forward Jacob Woznicki tied it up before halftime. He leads the team with 7 goals on the season. Goalkeeper Filippo Dodone made a season-high 7 saves. The Pride is 9-3-2 with 3 games left in the regular season. MLB, the NLCS is coming to Queens. The Mets host the Dodgers with the series tied at 1 apiece. Mark Vientos and Pete Alonso lead the team with 3 home runs each in the postseason. Francisco Lindor leads with 8 runs and has 2 this series. Here's the call from the Mets official X page on Lindor's home run. First pitch from Citi Field is 8:08. It's Game 3 of the WNBA Finals. The Liberty traveled to Minnesota to take on the Lynx. The Liberty have lost 5 final series all time. That includes last year when they lost to both road games to the Aces. They'll need to win at least 1 away from home to stay alive. Meanwhile, the Lynx have dropped only 1 of 5 home games this postseason. Tip-off from Target Center is 8 p.m. With your Newsline Sports Update, I'm Arcangelo Jurado.
That will do it for tonight's edition of Newsline. Many thanks to the entire WRHU News team. Engineering our show this evening is the amazing Antonio Schoenhardt and the proficient Parker Driscoll.
Thank you for tuning into Newsline, only here on your 4-time Marconi Award-winning radio station, 88.7 FM, Radio Hofstra University.
Access real-time local Long Island, New York, and global news, along with content from WRHU Talent Monday through Thursday, 5:30 to 6.
And tune back in from 7 to 9 Monday through Friday morning for our talk show, where we discuss Long Island life, national news, and international issues from the minds and mouths of Hofstra students on the morning wake-up call.
Lastly, check us out on social media at WRHU News for behind-the-scenes content.
For Newsline, I'm Cameron Bowden.
And I am Brooklyn Doughton.
Thank you for listening.
And have a splendid night, Long Island.
Newsline is a presentation of Long Island's largest radio news team, comprised of nationally recognized student broadcasters, winners of numerous awards from the Associated Press, Society of Professional Journalists, Radio Television News Directors Association, Hearst Corporation, Long Island Press Club, and other prestigious organizations. Newsline is researched and produced by student journalists using the Hofstra News Hub, cutting-edge multimedia news gathering technology, located in Hofstra's School of Communication. To learn more about News Hub and the Hofstra School of Communication, log on to hofstra.edu. To learn more about News Hub and the Hofstra School of Communication, log on to WRHU.org.